Right, so our next guest speakers have a wealth of global experience across the retail sector and the development sector, respectively. As leaders within Landsec, the owner of Gunwharf Quays, they're here to share our vision and our plans for the future. Those that don't know, I work at Gunwharf Quays, so please can I ask, for the safety of my job moving forward, that you give a very warm welcome to Bruce Findlay and to Mike Hood.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So we're going to be passing the mic and the clicker, and hopefully no fumbling. It's great to be here this morning and see you all. I'm a plastic seagull, and I nearly was struggling with some of the traffic around Chichester, where Vaughan lives, as many of you I'm sure have experienced. But I am a Portsmouth lover. I'm very proud to be here today representing Landsec and Gunwharf Quays. But actually, I'm more proud to be here as a Gunwharf Quays and Portsmouth visitor and shopper with my family. And I think the content that Mike will be sharing with you later, at the end when you've seen some of the vision and plans, that you'll also be as excited as I am about the future for Gunwharf Quays and its place in Portsmouth. So I think if we jump right in, we have a little video showing some of Landsec. Okay, so we'll jump straight into the next slide, Mike. So when I joined Landsec in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, Portsmouth was the first location I visited, partly because it was near where I live and easy to access. But actually because I was meeting this gentleman right here, Colin. And Colin, and we go into the next slide, Mike. When Colin and I were talking, he was using language that I found really intriguing. Retail is all about people. And Colin referred to brand partners, which in the property sector, they're often called occupiers, which I didn't think was a great phrase. So I like this phrase, brand partners. And he talked about the guests who are the visitors that really make the places live. And of course, in 2020, during the pandemic, retail, like much of the country, was going through a kind of existential crisis. And it appeared there was a war between online and physical retail, a battlefield where people were closing stores, and if we could even go out shopping, as you all remember. And like the great businesses that are thriving today, who have evolved coming out of the pandemic and adapted what we call an omni-channel approach, this is based on the reality of all of your lives, right? All of you, some of you right now are online probably shopping, or I hope he's just texting home. But of course, we're in stores, checking prices, we're clicking and collecting. This is the reality of today in a modern place. So great brands evolve, and with that, our places need to evolve. Now, Landsec has been a part of Portsmouth for quite a while now, around over a decade, and Gunwharf Quays is a fundamental success story that we're very proud of. Now, inclusive places, being welcoming, of course, that's fundamental for retailers, right? And we have great hospitality businesses that are thriving today, but we need to continually look to the future and think, what do we need to do next? So our strategy is built on experience-led places, the great places that you can spend time with your family, your friends, places to eat, drink, shop, watch, play, and Gunwharf Quays has all of that in spades. It's a place for a family day out from day to night. So in the evening, I'm sure many of you go there to drink and eat. Does anyone here eat or drink at Gunwharf Quays? Can I see some hands to give me an indication? So pretty much all of you. And those that didn't put your hands up, what's wrong with you? And ultimately, we are very privileged at Landsec. As you saw, we have some amazing locations from Glasgow across to Cardiff, and a part of city centres as well as out-of-town places like Bluewater. But at the end of the day, we are a commercial business, but we also have the opportunity to do great things, and you'll hear some more about that from Mike later. So jumping right along, mindful of time, Portsmouth, it's been a great success story during our time at the helm. Seeing you there, thank you, sir. And we're very proud of the growth that's been achieved there. And ultimately, all of these statistics which point to the success story that we as custodians at Landsec have to build on. It's a great responsibility that I feel to prepare the center for the future and what may come, because as there have been recent challenges and changes, many more can come. So we have to continuously work to keep relevant. That means often changing the brands that are there, because it's for all of you that we're doing these things. Now, it refers here to a mixed-use scheme, and it might be a phrase that some of you aren't used to, but for us, Portsmouth is really a template of what we think great looks like in terms of having residential, shopping, and being really all-encompassing part of people's lives. So that responsibility is where we've come to today, because it's time for us to invest and put our money where well, my mouth certainly is, and Mike's as well. So Mike, if we jump on to the next one. Now, some of the team, Yvonne is one of those 12 direct people, and there's some more people here today that work here. But we also are very pleased to, at the end, that last number there is probably the most important one. So we're, of course, a part of job creation, and this creating value in the community is something that is critical in our mission as a business and aligns to our company's values. So, to become one of Europe's leading waterfront destinations, that's the challenge we've set ourselves. So, of course, we want to be, and Portsmouth, of course, is the best in the UK, but we want to be even on a European scale, attracting more and more visitors and tourists, and there's so much going on today, and preparing for that future as more boats will be coming in, and from the great train station right next to us on our doorstep. So, more than an outlet, and this is what makes it's such an exceptional place. Many outlets or places you can just visit during the day and really shop, but that's where we have a real point of difference to build on. So the plans you'll see from Mike will show how we're looking to transform this, and it's about really raising the bar. So we'll still be an accessible place where you can come with your family, but we'll also still want to pitch to you the aspiration, because the waterfront really deserves it. And on a sunny day like today, there isn't many more beautiful places. Just the temperature we have to work on. So I think this is possibly one of my last slides, and this really just is about setting some numbers and targets to that. So this investment figure you see here is going to be spread over a few phases on a few projects, and we're already kicking off with those projects. So this is our commitment, and we will need to grow our business and perform at higher levels, which will benefit, again, the community around you. So those great retailers, hospitality businesses, the cinema, the bowling, we're all going to have to raise our bar and keep pushing and creating those great experiences and memories that hopefully you're all posting on your social media, those of you that are doing your social media. So Mike's going to take you now through some of this investment plans and share with you the beautiful images of what the future holds for Portsmouth. So thank you for your time and attention. We now try and do the switch.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for that, Bruce. And firstly, I might say thanks to Yvonne for having the bravery of putting both of us on the stage together. It's rare, and colleagues will say high risk. I lead our mixed-use business, so my team are responsible for working with Bruce and his team on projects across the UK. And before I show you the plans for Gunwharf Quays that we've worked on with the community, I just wanted to say two things. One was we have a basic philosophy in what we do, and that is that if you create great places that are valued by the communities, then in turn they're valuable investments, and more importantly, they make valuable contributions to the cities like Portsmouth and like Gunwharf Quays. And then secondly, we believe really fundamentally that places are local. Each one of our projects is different, and what we try to do when we approach projects like this is to understand the history of a place and embed what it is we're doing with an understanding and an identity of the place that makes them unique. And if these places are authentically local, then we find they work. And what I hope you'll see today is that the project that we're planning to undertake at Gunwharf Quays has some of those characteristics. So next slide, please, Bruce. Where do all good projects start? Well, they start by listening. Many of you have already put your hand up and told us that you visit Gunwharf Quays, I suspect very regularly. And I imagine many of you will have been part of the surveys and the feedback that we've asked you to give on what you would like to see at Gunwharf Quays, how you'd like to change the place, and what additional features that you think are opportunities. Thank you for that. Some of the things on the slide here just summarize that. I have to confess, and I'm just going to go straight past it, I don't really understand what the first bullet point says, so we'll just drift past that one. But what you did say to us is that you want more green spaces, you want more spaces to dwell when you're shopping, you want a better front door, a better entrance that's got more wow, you'd like to see more public art, you'd like to see that more made of the history of the place, and my goodness, does it have a rich history. You'd like the place to be more accessible, and you'd like more spaces where there can be performances and other features. Yeah, what I hope you'll see is that we've listened. Next slide, please. So just to orientate ourselves, you will know this, so I hope this is very obvious to you. What we intend to do is make 4 interventions in phases, taking the best bits of Gunwharf Quays and making them better. So what I'll talk to you about today is phase 1 up at the avenues, phase 2 at Marlborough Square, the main entrance to the site, the central square, which is the heart of Gunwharf Quays, and then, of course, the waterfront that Bruce said is the best marina waterfront in the UK, and we would like it to be one of the best in the world. So if we move on, please. Thank you. This is the avenues. You will be familiar with the avenues. It's our premium part of the centre where we have our luxury brands. And you wanted it to have a facelift, you wanted it to feel brighter, you wanted it to have more of a premium feel, you wanted more greenery, more places to stop and dwell. So this is what this project seeks to achieve. Next slide, please. What we'll be doing is working with our current brand partners, and I'm pleased to say we'll be bringing new brands to this space as well. And what we're going to deliver is an exceptional, special, luxury shopping area as this part of the centre. You've jumped ahead. Avenues is going to start in early March. This is phase 2. Thank you. We're going to get this right by the end, aren't we? I think Bruce is telling me I'm going too slowly, so I'll speed up. Marlborough Square is the main entrance. 40% of people that visit Gunwharf Quays come through this little tunnel, and we want to make it special. Next slide, please. And when you come through that tunnel, we want you to see a fantastic new facelifted entrance in Marlborough Square with wow factor. Planning applications going in or went in December. We would love your feedback on that. There will be more seating. There will be lots of new toilets. And there'll be more opportunities to bring new brands to Gunwharf Quays in these spaces, in these beautifully facelifted buildings that you see here. Next slide. Thanks very much. This is Central Square. It was feeling a bit tired, and I think you told us you wanted it to be uplifted. You wanted the upper levels to be more accessible. What you see here is our new concept for Central Square, a grand central staircase that you can sit in on a sunny day, of which there are many in Portsmouth, with a new screen that allows us to hold events, viewings, and a larger space that allows for performances, places to sit, dwell, eat food, be with your family. The first floor dining will also receive a very significant facelift, and it will enliven that whole part, the heart of the centre. Next slide, please. The waterfront. That's not the waterfront. That is. The waterfront is the most exciting opportunity at Gunwharf Quays. Everybody tells us it's one of the pieces of the place they enjoy most. It's where people enjoy spending time, not just to shop, but to enjoy watching the boats go past. We want to enliven that, enrich it, change the offering, and we'll be running a project as our 4th phase, which will open up more retail space. We'll encourage space for you to sit and watch the boats go by and understand more about this part of Portsmouth, and we'll be launching a consultation process on this, so we would really welcome further input from you as part of this process, just so we can get this great opportunity right. Thank you, Bruce. Has the potential to look rather smart. So timeline-wise, you can expect to see the Avenues project starting in the spring. Takes about 9 to 12 months. We'll then move on to Marlborough Square, then Central Square, and then the waterfront. The whole programme we see happening over 2 years. It's very important to us that Gunwharf Quays remains an enjoyable shopping and visiting experience throughout that project. But in total, we'll be investing circa £45 million in this refresh, which I hope you'll agree will put Gunwharf Quays in a fantastic place to succeed and continue to contribute very positively to the city of Portsmouth. Next slide, please. And again. We've talked and heard from some incredible organisations, and I'm sure you will hear more. And I just wanted to touch on our role that we like to play in Portsmouth and are extremely proud of. We value social impact and the impact that businesses like ours can have on Portsmouth as much as we do the financial outcomes that come from these projects. What I'll do is talk for just a second about the programmes that our team are involved. It's why we're here today, because we are bothered about this city. And we, through Gunwharf Quays, employ or create jobs for, as Bruce showed earlier, more than 2,300 people. Most of those people are local. And what's greatest is most of those people are deeply passionate about the city and are proud locals and have actively sought to get engaged in a whole range of programmes, some of which you see here. I asked Yvonne to put together our greatest hits. There were too many to get on there. But some of the programmes with our schools, whether it be Speakers for Schools, Made in Portsmouth, Shaping Portsmouth, have been great. Some of the work with some of our community groups, whether it be Spark, the Buckland Soup Kitchen, Pompey and the community, have all allowed us to engage really positively with our community and provide our small contribution to all of those organisations and the great work they're doing. Next one, please. And there's more. Landsec, throughout all of our communities, have a programme called Landsec Futures. It's a £20 million fund that we intend to invest between now and 2030 to support at least 30,000 people in underrepresented groups in the communities. We are keen to bring that programme to Portsmouth, and we are very keen to hear from you opportunities where we can leverage that programme to deliver what you want within the communities through your organisations. And certainly we would be pleased to speak about that, as would Yvonne and as would other colleagues. Next slide, please. So, the film, this is where we finish, but these are the ideas for Gunwharf Quays brought to life, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for having us.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I am, of course, incredibly excited about all the plans. And with it comes that opportunity to grow Gunwharf Quays, to invest in Gunwharf Quays, and by doing so, invest in the people and the place that is our wonderful city of Portsmouth. And there's lots of people here from Landsec and from Gunwharf Quays. Thank you for all the work that you've put in to make this happen so far. And boy, we've got a lot of stuff to do over the next 5 years to make it a brilliant place for all of you to enjoy.